Murphy Brown more than they like Dan Quayle. But they tried for a really long time to be like, Murphy Brown is bad because she's a single mom. Which, like, in 2016, it's like, how did they think that was ever going to stick? What's wrong with being a single mom?
Who, like, works all the time, I think, is, like, another thing that they were mad about. Was, like, not even staying home or, you know, and it's like, yeah, well... and she's too successful to have a kid, kind of thing.
Well, it is interesting how now that we have access to like the internet and, you know, all these old shows and movies, that we're able to like sort of see the change in cultural acceptance for certain things, and how like when you watch some movies, like what did I watch the other day? Oh, Look Who's Talking. Okay,
Love it.
Love that movie. Super classic. Really great. But one of the funny details is like how upset they all get about the whole like her getting impregnated by like her, like it's better. It was like
her boss got her pregnant.
Her boss got her pregnant, and like that's a big problem versus getting inseminated. Like that's what she tells her family. Oh, I got inseminated. That was better than like the. And like what's funny is like, yeah, maybe. But, and then this idea of, like, her being a single mom was, like, the worst thing that could happen to her. Like, I was like, whoa, this movie is, I was like, this is not so bad. Like, I think this seems like a pretty sweet deal, whatever's happening, right? Everyone's helping her out. I don't know. The kid's like, pretty quiet. I feel good about it.
He's just over there, like, moving his lips in a weird way, kind of, sometimes. Like, I always thought it was weird how the babies, like, actually kind of move their mouths. That like it lines up with what Bruce Willis says sometimes, and it's like I don't trust this kid.
I knew someone who genuinely believed that Baby Geniuses was a good movie. And
wait, the first one or the second one?
The first one.
We need to discern.
And he was like, "Well, you know, think about it. Think about it. It could be like that. That's what it could be like."
Because the second one is like The Godfather 2 of Baby Genius.
Very
movies.
good.
Yeah. They have superpowers.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen
anymore.
either Baby Genius 1 or Baby Genius 2.
Well, they're not good.
No. It's the entire idea is about like making super smart babies that are like essentially like combat ready as well. Like they're like good at karate and like super agile and shit. And it's like, what's the end game here? Are we gonna have the cutest World War III ever, or you know, like? I kind of like that, though.
What's that actress's name who was in Romancing the Stone and husky voice?
Nope.
Catherine.
Yeah, something.
She was Jessica Rabbit.
She was Chandler's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Friends reference.
But not.
Anyway, it's not one of her best films. Catherine something.
I like the idea that none of us have gone for our phones yet. That's nice. We'll figure it out in a minute.
No, it will come to me. I'm going to shout it. Just
I can
in the
see her
middle of
face.
anybody's
I can
sentence.
see her right now.
Kathleen Turner?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner. How's it going? I was Jessica Rabbit. I was a sex bot.
A sex bot.
Like she has a really deep smoker's voice.
Well, it started husky, and then you can't just smoke all the time.
Yeah, no, it was like
Wendell.
sensual. Hey, what does my voice sound like? I would love.
Off.
I would totally trade having like an old grizzled like hobo voice, like sound like Sam Elliott or something, and then die in like 10 years. but just tell a bunch of stories by campfire and shit before I do, you know? Like, let me tell you about the time I parked in that parking spot.
I feel like Wendell has to smoke, or else he's gonna sound like a 13-year-old for the
Ellie
rest of his life.
Alvin.
I mean, you could be a like voice for like a Disney child, where it's like, "Hey guys, listen, I gotta get to 7th grade class."
Yeah, it
like,
drives me
no.
nuts. I know it's haunted me my whole life. I appreciate we all. Yes, I'm really insecure about it now, considering I'm just talking into a microphone. And I can hear it really well. No men in my family actually have deep voices. We're all kind of struck with that. Like even like kind of hardcore redneck dudes are all a little bit high pitched. My dad was a really good singer in like a choir, so
From
it's
the
like
Carolinas.
Yeah.
That's how it is up there.
Yeah. I don't.
High-pitched voices in the
I'm not
Carolinas?
kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right, like
Like
Barney
a lot
Fife.
of gentlemen in South Carolina sound like this.
Like Lindsey
Yeah.
Graham.
Oh,
Yeah.
They'll beat the shit out of you in the bar. They're not gay.
Boy, you
They
all
don't
get
sound
out
like
of
this.
here.
This is just how they sound.
Yeah.
Like 30% of men in South Carolina sound like that.
I consider you, Colin, one of the like world traveler people that I know. So if you say that everybody in the Carolinas sounds like that,
A lot of them.
I believe you.
All of them would be a big exaggeration, but like
Maybe, but
there'll be some rough-looking guy who's like a super redneck, and he's like, Obama's one of them Muslims.
Yeah.
You just can't take
Hillary
it seriously.
Clinton's a lesbian, and I'm voting for Trump.
I just want y'all to know.
We gotta keep them out. We gotta keep all of them out.
I noticed you ordered an
who
apple
specifically?
tea. Yeah.
The Muslims.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. It's like Barney Fife. You know, that just comes way too naturally to a lot of. If you Bernard P5. I was watching a lot of Andy Griffith the other day. I don't know if you guys know this, but that is like the greatest sitcom ever made.
I don't know
love that show. Yeah.
You made fun of me a couple weeks ago when I mentioned This Is Your Life, and your reference today is the Andy Griffith Show. So I just want to point out who's older. Technically me, but in your mind, you.
If you're listening to this podcast right now and you don't know who Andy Griffith is, I want you to stop listening to it. I don't even want your patronage on this podcast. You're a bad person. You need to go read about comedy.
Or just watch it.
Or, yeah, just
read a number of dissertations written about the Andy Griffith
check out
Show.
Matlock. Check out,
I love Matlock.
Like, all right.
A lot of Andy Griffith's early stuff, too.
Well, don't stop listening.
You have plenty of time to watch Matlock later.
In life?
You don't have to rush that one.
No,
it is
forever.
Good, though. It's fun.
Also, the best thing is, too, like, we'll be, like, the most prepared old people ever. I mean, like, old people forever have just been watching, whatever channels are on. They watch the daytime TV. They, all those commercials on regular TV are geared towards them. I know because I watch it sometimes, and I'm like, who's watching this? But I guess old people, because all the commercials are geared toward them.
What's on during the day? I don't even know now.
Like Judge Judy and like...
Yeah, are there any old people shows like Murder, She Wrote or Matlock?
There's
like that?
Right now, all that's left in the you can have cable and you can watch lots of things, but, whatever. The only regular TV with commercials that I have is the digital antenna. So I have 10 channels, and it's 4 PBSs, and then NBC, CBS, Fox, and then a bunch of random ones. One's all movies, and it's all old black and white movies all the time, every day. And the other one's 70s and 80s game shows, which I love. It's called Leather.
Yeah.
I talk about that one all the time. And then there's another super weird I don't know, local channel or whatever. And there's 2 or 3 local
cable access
channel
kind
things.
of thing.
Yeah. That used to be Channel Awesome that aren't anymore. But anyway, when I watch the game shows, the commercials are always old people commercials, and I think oh god. But I'm excited now because now I have Netflix and I can watch whatever I want.
They must be watching a lot of Family Feud with Steve Harvey.
Well, I mean, on the channel that I watch, it's all with Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's this really old game show that I found on that. It was this black and white TV, and it was constantly talking about the sponsor, whatever toothpaste was. And
to tell the truth,
yeah, it was where your occupation, the panel guesses your occupation. What an adorably quaint show that is, because because they'll blow through it sometimes. You have no idea how many contestants are going to be on there, and sometimes they're not even weird, but the questions they ask them are really, really analytical and specific, and it's why don't you guys go solve a murder? Because these the questions they ask are so getting to the point, and they'll figure out a hair tonic salesman in 3 questions, and yeah, I don't know. I was this is a talent that they can use in a much better way, I think, than to push Colgate.
Yeah, those are pretty wild. Speaking of what people do, Colin, what is it exactly that you do?
I am a copywriter in advertising.
Wow. So you're legit.
Sure.
Yep.
Do you have
Most legit writer I know.
It's not that kind.
Yeah, I know.
I do get that question a fair amount.
Really? I mean,
really?
Is there a person? Is there an occupation where you can just walk around and like copyright
with a
stuff with a
stamp.
stamp? Yeah, that's like a notary, I guess.
That's a notary,
Yeah.
but that's a different
That's
kind
more
of thing
just like
too.
saying I
You
saw
can be a
this happen.
copyright attorney. But that's not
They don't
related to
get
what I do at
stamps.
all.
It's whatever. You don't
Like,
get a stamp.
that's different.
It's bullshit.
Completely different.
Yours has a W. That one doesn't. Okay.
I don't know why it was ever called copy, but even in like newspaper, you would say this is the copy. Copy meaning all of the words. It's old-fashioned, I guess.
Like a writ, maybe? I don't know.
This is the most interesting part of my job. Is why is it called a copywriter? Why do you park on a driveway and drive on a parkway?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Do you have 45 minutes for me to spin a yarn?
Is that like literally an actual like problem that you come across when you're like meeting people? That you like have to have that conversation? This is like a regular problematic conversation.
As soon as I just get rid of the idea that I do anything with copyrights, it's fine. It's not usually a long conversation.
Okay. Because most people probably don't even really know what copyrights are.
Mm-hmm. Well, like in movies and TV, and even in like articles and stuff, you always see like advertising executive. Nobody knows what that is in advertising. None of us call ourselves executives ever. Ever. On any team. Account, creative, media,
It's on like the
production.
business card they network with, I would assume, and that's
No.
pretty much it. No?
Nope.
Exec, maybe?
You
I-
might be an account executive.
Yeah.
That's the only person who would ever have executive in their title.
I put the word executive in my title.
Except for like, I guess like
That's just it. That's just...
executive.
On my business card, it just says Wendell and then executive. And then that's
Yeah.
it. Like, nothing
And it's
else.
just a picture of you with your thumbs
Yeah.
up.
There were
I swear.
Yeah.
lots of like movies in the 80s that involved advertising characters, and that's
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
we have Mad
That's
Men
all I know
now,
about it.
But from the end of the 80s until Mad Men, it was like, advertising's not real. That's not going to be a subject for films anymore. The 80s was obsessed with it.
It really was. There was a lot of movies about it. I can see why so many people went into it, because it seemed like the only career that was available.
Well, in movies, it's such a vague sketch. Like, they'll have, like, some poster that has, like, 3 words on it. And it's like, here's our campaign.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like, you put in, like, 80-hour weeks and then have, like, reams and reams and reams of ideas, and they hate, like, at least half of them. That's what it's really like.
And it was always like appealing to the small time family. Like in the movies in the 80s, it was always like trying to get to the simple man, and it was always like trying to do like some kind of Norman Rockwell kind of presentation for like tires or
Yeah,
something.
I saw Mr. Mom not too long ago, which is pretty good.
Mr. Mom.
And I didn't see it until I was an adult, who had already been in advertising for years and years. So I'm like looking at it through a very particular lens. But like, yeah, it's like we want to appeal to the common man, and like their advertising idea ends up being, let's make the tuna fish cheaper, and I guarantee you that would not go over. They don't take advice like that.
No, they don't.
We want you to sell more of it. Well, why don't you make it cheaper? Why don't you fuck yourself?
This job goes one way, like the flow goes in one direction. You know, well, I don't want to do my job, so how about you do a new job that I just made up?
It's funny. My only dealing with ad executives that don't exist have to do with being the quote unquote, and I say this with air quotes and saying it out loud, talent in a in like a commercial. Where, like, there's the 4 or 5 executives that sit in a soundproof room with whatever's happening coming over, and they just sit and stare at us as we act. And then there's one guy who's sort of a floater behind the director who, like, whispers things.
Okay.
And then I'm never sure who's making the decision, but I just always have to smile and nod at every
For
person.
commercials?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, commercials that I've done, they've had, like, ad people all in the room, like, and there's the director doing stuff, and then we do whatever it is, and then he goes back into the room with them, this little soundproof room, and they
They'll have
discuss
this like little huddle, and one looks up.
discuss
looks
what's
back
going
at
on,
There's
and then he comes
usually-
back out, and he's like, okay, what they want us to do. But what's funny is the lines are already written.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of cooks in the kitchen. That's not unusual.
Yeah. That's my only experience with any ad people.
Let's make her do it in a Cockney voice. like they just come back out like.
I was going to say this earlier because you were talking about possibly sounding like a child if you didn't smoke. There was an ad I worked on that was for a children's hospital, and we wanted like child talent, and we had someone